Hello, welcome to today's video. I forgot to actually say anything at the beginning of this video, so I thought I'd try a fruity little voiceover. I'm actually out walking the dog, so if you hear any barking or birds tweeting, that'll be what that is. So yeah, this is following on from the last video where I did the moulding repair. I've since then done a undercoat of gold, gold paint that is, and now I'm putting some real gold over the top. Once this is all on, I'll show you the process of sort of dumbing it down and not dumbing it down, dirtying it down and blending it in with the surrounding gold. So yeah, if you like the video, do one of those like, subscribe, comment things that I meant to say. Yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Cheers. Now that I've got all the new areas gilded, I'm going to start the process of well, dirtying it down to make it blend in a bit more. I've already sort of had a look and checked and found the formula that I need to get it looking right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start off with some lacquer that's tinted with a bit of well, stain basically. It's flat matte lacquer, so I'm going to put that over the top just to take the high sheen off of the gold. And then I'm going to use my lovely little Warhammer paints from my nerdy little hobbies. So we're going to use some of those to then put some colour on top and just get it to blend in nicely. It's been quite rough and ready with this because I want the coloured lacquer just to pull down into the corners a little bit. That's where the sort of dirt and grime naturally settles and is darker, so I'm not getting too precious about putting on like a perfectly even layer, but the real colour will be done with the paints later on. So this is literally just to take the sheen off of the surface and just make this gold not look so bright and fresh and new, and that little bit of stain in there just helps to put the first little bit of darker colour on there as well. Right, that's all done, so the next step will be to put on some washes of colour, and yeah, but I've got to let this dry first, so I'll come back and do that in a bit. Now that that's dry, I'm going to add the first wash. This is sort of a browny wash, just to get that kind of dirty, filthy look going. So be fairly liberal, but not over the top with it. So I'm just going to let that dry again now. Let that dry again, and then once that's dry, I'll come in with the next colour and basically keep going like this until it looks right. Now that that's dried out, I'm going to move on to the next one. So this is the sort of like skanky sort of brown dirty colour. It looks a bit incongruous, I know, but once it's on there, it's still going to look bad. But then I'm going to come back with some more washes, and I'm going to go over the top, and it will just help to blend it all in. So I'm going to be putting quite a light coat on here, so hopefully it won't be too heavy, but like I said, it's not going to look great when I've put this on. But once I've put the extra washes on over the top, kind of rubbing off the peak surfaces, because that's where it would get the dirt worn away from just people touching it and handling it. So I don't want the top surfaces to be quite as bad, but yeah, I've got a really small amount on this. I think it's called dry brushing technically, but yeah, I'm just trying to get a really light coating on there. I don't want to wash over it with this colour, so I'm trying to apply it sparingly with this big fat brush. Basically got nothing on there now, so I'm just kind of blending it all together. It's all completely dry on the brush, so I'm not rubbing loads more in, I'm just blending it all together. So as I say, that looks a bit muggy and horrible now, but then when I come back with the next wash, it will in a way bring that back out. So yeah, I'll let that dry off properly, and then I'll come back with the next one. Now that's dry, I'm coming back with the penultimate layer. It's another layer of this sort of darkish brown one. Slap it all over. See, it's sort of taken the sort of ruddy, mucky brownness off of that already, and replaced it with another sort of ruddy, mucky brownness. But yeah, it's helping to blend it in, and then once this is done, it'll be the final layer. Get it to sit down into these deeper crevices. You can see that's where the dirt is naturally gathering is on the top sides of everything. A little bit back out there. It's starting to look pretty good now, so I've only got one more layer to do, but I'll let this dry again and then I'll come back and put that final layer on, and hopefully it will look pretty well blended in. Time for the final coat, and this is maybe the oddest looking one, but I'm actually going to be putting a green on there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a very slight sort of greenish hue to the harp, and I realised that you may be able to see my hand is quite yellow because I had a bottle of stain explode on me earlier. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a very light wash of this green over the top, and it's just going to help to blend it all in. I don't want this one to pool up in the corners because I don't want to have green pools in the corners. I just want to put a very slight hue of green over the whole thing, and then once that's done, we'll all be finished. Cool, well that's on now, so obviously I'll let that dry, but hopefully you can see that it actually blends in pretty well now. So yeah, got a couple of more bits to finish off and then the harp will be all finished.